Hey, welcome back. Today, we are diving into something huge for the To-Do app. And I mean, forget about minor tweaks or little updates. This is phase 2, and it's seriously going to change the way you think about your work.
So right off the bat, you're going to notice something's different. That loading screen, it's not just a new look, it's a new name, task flow. What does that even mean, right? Well, it's the very first clue that something really big is happening under the hood. And that brings us to the real questions here. What is task flow? And honestly, why do we even need it? I mean, the old way works? Kinda. So what's the big idea? Let's get into it. Okay, so before we can really appreciate the future, we have to talk about the present. And for most of us, the present is, well, it's a to-do list. A simple, familiar, and let's face it, a pretty limited to-do list. I mean, let's be real. For the kind of complex, multi-layered projects we're all juggling these days, a simple checklist just doesn't cut it anymore. We've all been there, right? Staring at this massive list of 20 tasks, feeling totally overwhelmed and having no idea where to even start.
You know, this quote just says it all perfectly. A list of tasks isn't a plan. It's more like a source of stress, not a roadmap to getting things done. It tells you what you have to do, but it gives you zero help with the how or the why.
So this is the fundamental shift in thinking we're talking about. A checklist, it just gives you a bunch of separate, isolated tasks. But a workflow actually shows you how those tasks connect, how they depend on each other. It's like the difference between just having a list of ingredients versus actually having the recipe. So how do we get from that chaotic list to a plan that actually makes sense? Well, that's where task flow comes in. And I want to be clear, this is so much more than a new feature. It's a whole new philosophy, a new way to think about and interact with your work. So what is it exactly? Task flow is this amazing visual system that connects all your tasks. Think of it like this. It's the difference between having a big pile of bricks and having the actual blueprint. One is just a bunch of stuff, the other shows you exactly how to build something incredible. And task flow is built on these 4 pillars that just make sense. First, you capture all your ideas and tasks. Then, and this is where the real magic happens, you connect them. You link dependencies and you start to see how everything really fits together. That lets you visualize the entire path forward, like a map. And the result? You achieve flow, just moving from one thing to the next with total clarity. Okay, so that's the theory. It sounds great, right? But what does this actually look like in practice? When you're on a tight deadline. Let's jump into a real-world example to see how this can completely change the game. All right, imagine you're planning a team offsite. Before task flow, you've just got that giant, stressful checklist. With task flow, you see a clear path. It's suddenly obvious that you can't book the venue until you finalize the headcount. That one little connection eliminates all the guesswork, prevents you from making a costly mistake, and just leads to a smooth, predictable project. And hey, you don't just have to take my word for it. Listen to what one user had to say. I stopped managing tasks and started orchestrating projects. I can see the whole symphony now, not just the individual notes. Wow. I mean, that's the power of this thing. It gives you that bigger picture. See, this really is more than just a new feature. It's a totally new way of working. The future of productivity is going to be fluid, it's going to be connected, and it's going to be crystal clear. And it all starts right here. So here's the bottom line. We're moving away from that static pile of bricks and toward a dynamic blueprint for building something amazing. We're leaving behind a simple list of tasks for a real plan for success. It's really time to stop just managing tasks and to start mastering your momentum. It's time to move forward with absolute clarity and purpose. So the only question left is, are you ready?